One ball at a time. Yeah. Suppose Vinay is doing the paper, and while he's crossed midway, his mind starts chattering. This is, going out of my hand. And he's, why? Because the past 5-6 questions were very tough. So then his mind starts speaking. He's at question number 50. He's wondering about the question number 41 to 49, that this has been a very difficult streak. Can Vinay give his 100% to question number 50 if he's wondering what happened in question number 41 to 49? You have so much to do for one question, in the exam hall. And you don't even have 2 hours for it. After 10 minutes, you will get to know. You just have close to 90 minutes, less than 90 minutes for the paper. You don't have 120 minutes. Now, out of 90 minutes, you have to attempt like 100 questions. Yeah, 90 minutes into 60 or 5400 divided by 100. 54 seconds, right? So you have 54 seconds for one question. In that, you have to grab the question, you have to remember stuff, you have to apply your common sense. If you can't remember stuff, then if your common sense also doesn't work, you will have to apply your intuition, your guesswork, right? And then you will have to decide whether to attempt this question or not. So much you have to do for one question in 54 seconds. And then if you are thinking about the question that just went away, you cannot give your 100%. Now, I don't know what Virat said it or Dhoni, some very famous cricketer said this line, but one ball at a time. If you are doing question number 50, question number 50 is your world. You don't care about question number 49. You don't care about question number 51. Yeah, this is the attitude. And in fact, prelims is a game. The whole prelims is a game. Yeah, whatever sports you like, you should look at it like that. Yeah, I always used to really enjoy the prelims paper and the mocks as well, because I used to just feel that this is a game that I am playing. And it is like that. The examiner is going to throw 100 balls at you and you have to bat 100 times, right? Okay, next. Next point is difficulty level doesn't matter. Yeah. Why? Suppose Subodh is doing the paper and in between the paper, her mind starts chattering. This is the most difficult paper of the last 20 years that UPSC has ever made. Now, what will happen? This happens, right? In between the paper, we start evaluating it. Whether it's difficult, whether it's easy, whether it's too difficult. Now, suppose Subodh gets this into her head that this is the most difficult paper that UPSC has made. Now, what will happen? She will start panicking in the second half of the exam. Some questions that she knew, she would, miss them just because of that panic. Now, first thing is, maybe her evaluation is wrong. Maybe the parts that she was comfortable with are coming in the second part of the paper. Or maybe generally the easier parts of the paper are in the second half in that particular set. So maybe she is wrong. Suppose she is right. Suppose this actually is the most difficult paper UPSC has made in 2023. They just cross all limits. So what? So what? It's going to be the same for Reena and Havil and Saurav and Vishwajit and everyone. So it's going to be the same for all the 10 lakh people. So the cutoff will go down. So it doesn't matter. Let's look at the reverse. Say Nikita is attempting the paper and by the 50th question, she feels, array, this is now in our hand. This paper is in our hand now. Now, but yeah, this is easy. Yeah. And suppose she gets overconfident. So now what will happen? Out of her carelessness, she may do some silly mistakes in the second. Suppose all the difficult part of the paper is in the second half. So maybe her evaluation is wrong. Or parts that she is not comfortable with are in the second half. So maybe her evaluation is wrong. Right? Let's suppose her evaluation is right. It is an easier than normal paper. So it's easier for then everyone. Then cutoff will go up. So it doesn't matter. So difficulty level doesn't matter. Yeah. You have to tell this to yourself in the exam. If it's difficult, cutoff will go down. If it's easy, cutoff will go up. It's a relative exam. It's a competitive exam. Yeah, it's not something absolute कि इतना आना ही चाहिए marks तुम्हारे. नहीं. अगर तुम सोच के गए थे 120 प्लस लाने और तुम्हें दिख रहा है कि इस पेपर में 120 प्लस नहीं आएंगे, तो क्या, so what? अगर बहुत मुश्किल है, कट ऑफ नीचे चला जाएगा. So difficulty level doesn't matter. Okay. अच्छा, this doesn't mean ki right now, this mantra is not for right now. Not like right now you are studying and you are thinking, अरे difficulty, कल ही sir ने बोला है difficulty level doesn't matter. अरे ठीक है, अपना chill करते हैं. No. Right now, please face the normal difficulty level of the exam. Please see the PYQs and all of that. Right? Don't be in a shell. But this wisdom is for inside the examination hall while you are attempting the paper. Right? Advices are different for different people. Someone who is doing less, he will be told to run fast. Someone who is running fast and burning himself down, he will be told to slow down. So all advices are relative. All advices are in a context. Okay. Yeah. So this equanimity you have to maintain in the exam. This is also said by Krishna very beautifully. He said, Sama sukhe dukhe kritva labha labho jaya jaya. In sukh dukh, in happiness and grief. In labh alabh, in profit and loss. In jaya ajaya, in success and victory. In success and failure. Be equanimous. Same kritva. Sama. Sama means equanimous. That equanimity you have to maintain inside the exam hall. So without that, you will either be panicky or overconfident. All right, next point. You use the radio chalky technique to revise. Yeah, you can stay on the slide now, Vansha. This I told you on day one also, right? That suppose you attempt 42 tests. Out of 42 tests, you make audio recordings of half an hour. So that means you will get a good playlist of 21 hours. In the last 1 week, give 3 hours every day to the test series and you will be able to revise the entire test series. I have done it this way. It works fantastic. Next. Yeah. Now let's enter the 4-phased strategy of the exam. Yeah. See, you are going to witness 4 types of questions in the exam. What are those 4 types of questions? First, you are able to eliminate 3 options and you are come to the correct option. Okay? So you attempt those questions. Second, you are able to eliminate only 2 options and you are confused between 2 options. These are moderately confusing questions. Third, you are able to eliminate only 1 option. You are confused between 3 options. These are highly confusing questions. Fourth, you are able to eliminate nothing. You are confused between 4 options. These are the questions you will leave. Okay. I am repeating. You are able to eliminate 3 options. Okay. And you are confused in 0. So you will attempt it, of course, right? You are confused in 2. You are able to eliminate 2 and you are confused in 2, right? So this, I'll just tell you what to do. Then you are able to eliminate 1 and you are confused in 3. This is highly confusing. I'll tell you what to do. Then you are able to eliminate none and you are confused in 4, all of it. So that you will leave. Okay. Now let's look at the slide. Akanksha, screen share. So these 4 types of questions, how are we going to deal with them? First, the sure short questions. Yeah, the first category questions. They are going to be 35 to 45 questions like that. You will look at them and you know them. You know from your memory that they are the correct answer. So you arrive at a tick on the first go. Second are the fourth category questions, which are you know nothing about. You can't eliminate even one option. So they are the ones you should leave. Yeah, you are. These are worthy to be left questions. So you arrive at an L in the first go. There are going to be 5 to 15 questions like that. Even if you know that, even if you have heard about the topic, but you are not able to eliminate even one of the options. This is what I mean. Of course, if you are reading since 1-2 years, कुछ ऐसा प्लूटो से उठा के तो कुछ आएगा नहीं, right? कुछ ऐसा तो नहीं आएगा जो तुम्हें बिल्कुल समझ ना आए, पर ऐसा जरूर होगा कुछ कि तुमने टॉपिक सुना है पर कुछ भी ऑप्शंस में कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा, तो L. फिर हम आते हैं बैलेंस 40 to 50 questions, the balance 40 to 50 questions which are confusing. Yeah, so these are the middle category questions. So firsts are moderately confusing questions where you are confused between 2 options. You are able to eliminate 2 options. Now these questions, around 30 such questions, you have to attempt at your first go itself. They are worthy to be attempted. You apply your intellect, your common sense, and you apply your gut feeling and just attempt them in the first go. If you are confused between 2, you are able to eliminate 2 options. It's a good thing. It's a very good thing. You're just confused between 2 of them. That's a sign that you will attempt this question. Okay. Then 10 to 20 tricky or highly confusing questions. These are the questions which are the pain in the mind of. These are the questions that make prelims the prelims exam, which which people are like, "Arey, bahut mushkil aaya paper." Okay, so these are the questions generally जिसमें से you are able to eliminate only one and you are confused between 3 options. Okay, and they are 10 to 20 in number. So you have to decide which ones you will take to the answer sheet and which ones will be reviewed. Okay. For these questions, what you should do in the first round, you arrive at 2 dots. That is 2 most probable answers in the first go. Okay. Suppose at 9:30 you started the paper. At 9:40 you saw a question where one option you can easily eliminate. Okay, so you eliminated it. Now 3 are left. Okay. Now you spend some time, and if you can't solve the entire question, just eliminate one option more. Be okay with 2 dots. Okay, don't take the pressure of arriving at the final answer for this question straight away. Yeah, these are the questions that you can review once more. Okay, now all this is to be done within the first phase of the paper. Now what are the 4 phases of the paper? Yeah, Akanksha, next slide. So you are going to do the exam in 4 phases. Okay, and before those 4 phases is phase 0. Phase 0 is where you are sitting Vela in the exam hall, right? So that time 9:20 to 9:30, you are going to do some breathing exercises. Why? Because every incoming breath energizes your body, every outgoing breath relaxes your body. So every incoming breath gives you power, outgoing breath gives you peace. And these are the two things you need in wholesale in the exam. You need a lot of energy to tackle 100 questions and you need peace of mind so that you don't lose your mind, so you don't panic inside the exam hall. Okay, so first thing. Now phase 1. From 9:30 to 10:45 or 10:50 is the phase 1. Give your heart and soul to each question 100%. Leave the too lengthy or too tricky questions. Okay, suppose you see that some question is too lengthy. Yeah, it's just, it has like 5-6 options. Just leave that question in the first phase. Yeah, or you see some question is too tricky. You see and you are like, yaar, ye to bas kuch aur hi hai types, so let it be. Okay. Now, complete most of your decision making in this phase. This is the essence of this phase. You have to complete 90% of your decision making in this phase. Okay. Now, arrive at one of the 3 decisions for all the 100 questions. What? At 10:50 or 10:45, okay, all the 100 questions should either have a tick or should have an L or should have 2 dots. I repeat, at 10:45, 10:50 a.m., all the 100 questions should have one of these 3 symbols in front of them. Either it has a tick or it has an L or it has 2 dots. That means you have shortlisted 2 most probable options of a particular question. Yeah. And of course, if you see there are 2-3 questions which have a lot of 5-6 options and you have just left them for review, so you can also write R in front of that कि भाई आपने एक भी बार वो क्वेश्चन नहीं पढ़ा है, अब आपको अब पढ़ना है कि read. ठीक है? Okay. Now arrive at least 70 ticks by this time. This is important. You must get to at least 70 ticks by this time. Why? If you have to attempt, you'll just get to know why. Phase 2 is the review phase. Okay, from 10:45 to 11. Now here you deal with the tricky ones as much as possible. Of course, this is the review phase, so you give a second look to many questions. There is a good chance that now you are able to remember some more things about a particular question. That's how the brain functions. Suppose you see something at 9:45 and then you see it again at 10:45. So there is a chance that you're able to remember something extra about that question. So you do it. Yeah, the review phase. Next comes phase 3 at 11. From 11 to 11:17 is where you start marking the ticked questions. Yeah, Akanksha, can you spotlight me? Now, this is very crucial because I know a lot of cases. I'll tell you 2 types of cases. First, people who were attempting paper in the online format. They never even knew, they never had an idea that this exercise of bubbling, of circling takes so much time. It takes good 17-18 minutes to circle the answers, right? Because you will see A1A, okay, then you'll go 1A, you'll double check it, then you get a 2C, okay, then you go 2C, you double check it and you put it. It's a highly clerical, highly frustrating exercise to do, but very important. Because why? Number 1, if I know examples where people have attempted their mock tests online and then when they did the offline paper, they had no idea that this takes so much time. So they screwed the whole paper thing. First. Second, people who do this at the last. People who do this at 11:20, 11:15. By 11:25, they realize that it's so time taking and then they start panicking. And then in that panic, they post wrong answers. Now, I remember a friend who did this. He posted 45 ka answer at 46, 46 ka at 47, 47 ka at 48. So after 3 questions, when he realized that this is happening, it's gone. 3 questions which were correct are now incorrect, or which had a great chance of being correct are now incorrect. So you have lost 2 into 3, 6 marks, and 0.67 ka negative you have incurred ka 3. Yeah. So approximately 8 marks you have lost. Now in a paper, yeah. So see, in a paper where a 0.25 can put you on this side or that side, this blunder, is just totally can be avoided. Yeah. So moral of the story, you will not do the circling thing at the end. When 11 a.m. comes, you will have to drop everything that you are doing. तुम्हारा जितना हो गया paper, तब तक you have to start circling. Okay. That's the third phase of the paper. Now, after the third phase comes the fourth phase, where what you have to do, you have to do this exercise called indexation. What is indexation? Now you have attempted all the ticks in your answer sheet, right? So say out of 100 questions, you have now circled 72 questions. Okay. But the golden range is between 80 to 90. So now what do you have to do? You have to somehow post 12 to 13 questions more in the answer sheet. Now, how will you do it? First, you will go through the paper, and all the questions that you have either left or have 2 dots in front of them, you will write their numbers at the back of the question paper. There is a rough sheet, there is an area for practice, rough area at the end of the question paper. Yeah. So what do you have to do? Pick up the paper, you say, okay, first tick matlab posted. Yeah. First tick, second tick, third L. So you go back, write 3. Fourth tick, 5 tick, 6, 2 dots. So you go back, write 6. 7 tick, 8 tick, 9, 10, 11, 13th, 2 dots. You go back, write 13. Like that, at the end of the question paper, a whole list will come up where you will see a list of numbers 3, 6, 13, 19, 21, 23, 25, 26, 51, 53. Like that, a list of questions will be there. Step number 1. Step number 2, you will count these numbers. How many numbers are posted? Okay. So suppose you count and you figure out that 28 items are posted. This is how you will get to know that you have attempted 72 questions and 28 are still left to be attempted, right? Or alternatively, you can count the number of dots in your answer sheet, but that is a more time consuming exercise. To count 70, 73 things in your answer sheet is more time consuming. It's easier to count these numbers. Second thing is you count these numbers. Yeah. These numbers, suppose, as I said, you get to know that 28 questions you have left. That means 72 you have attempted. And suppose you have decided that your golden number is 85. That means 72 से 85 का कितना distance है? 13. So you have to now select 13 questions out of this list of 25 questions and you have to attempt it. Yeah. Now, if you don't do this exercise, number 1, you will not get to know how many questions you have attempted and you will not be able to make sure that you are in the golden range. Okay. First. Second, in the last phase, you will be panicking if you don't have this index. Because that question paper is a bulky sheet of like 50, 57 pages. Yeah. English, Hindi, dono mein likha hota hai. So you will be hustling in the paper if you don't have this list. If you have this index, you can just like a laser beam, refer things. Okay, third question, just focus on third question. Otherwise, you will be all the time searching. अरे वो क्वेश्चन था एक, अच्छा उसका चांस अच्छा है, वो किधर है, वो अटेम्प्ट करता है, अच्छा वो क्वेश्चन किधर है, अरे यार ये तो यहाँ तो सब अटेम्प्ट हुआ पड़ा है, कहाँ नहीं हो रखा. Like that, you will be panicking in the last section of the paper. So to avoid that, just have this index. So you will just look once it's ready. Okay, third question I'll see. This is very difficult. I'll just anyways leave it. Okay, sixth. Yeah, this can be attempted. And once you feel, okay, this can be attempted, decide the answer, post it. You hardly have any time. Okay, then next 13th. Okay, these are 2 dots. And this is lag raha hai ki, okay, I can crack this. Okay, attempt it, get done with it. Last 10 minutes are highly on an intuition basis anyways. Yeah, okay. Yeah. 4 time divisions of the 2 hours. Phase 0, breathe. Phase 1, maximum decision making. Phase 2, review. Phase 3, circling. Phase 4, golden range. These are the essences of all the phases. Yeah, complete most of your decision making in the first phase. That's the essence. Second phase, review is the essence. Third phase, circling is the essence. Fourth phase, golden range is the essence. Now, some extra pointers. First thing, this is a strategy that has worked for me and has worked for many of my students. Yeah, of course, you would have seen hundreds of other toppers strategies and hundreds of other videos are available. What you need to do is, you listen to as many people as you want to, but in your mocks, start applying certain things and then finalize your strategy by February end. You see what suits you. Okay. Once you finalize your strategy, do not change it. And never ever change it one day before the exam or in the exam hall. Again, I can remember a case. This person, very dear friend of mine, used to attend the paper in a particular fashion. That day he goes and he's like, I'll review the paper 3 times. He was just panicking throughout the paper and then of course he didn't make it. Yeah. So don't do that. Okay. Evolve a strategy, stick to it, and yes, take the essences of this strategy. Yeah, as I said, the essences. You have to keep some time for golden range. Circling cannot be at the end. Most of decision making has to happen in the first phase itself. There are some essences, you keep these essences in your strategy. First thing. Second thing, do not break the paper. What do I mean by that? A lot of students attempt it this way. They will attempt 50 questions and they will post it. And then they will attempt 50 questions and they will post it. Or they'll do 1/3 of the paper, they will post it. They'll break the paper in 2 or 4 parts. What is the loss? Suppose Reena is doing the paper and she does the first 50 questions. She's moving normally. And she's like, okay, I have to be risk friendly. So I'll attempt as much as possible. So out of 50, she attempts 45 questions. Now, she's feeling good about it. Then she sees in the next half of the paper, it's mostly in her comfort zone. So now she wants to attempt 50 on 50. So now what is her tally coming on? 95. Now, but she can do nothing about it because she has already posted 45 questions in the first part of the exam, right? That's what she did. She saw the first part. She's like, okay, I'll now post the answers. And then she realized, okay, I have posted 45 questions. Then in the next part, she realizes this is more in her comfort zone. And she's like, okay, now I want to attempt all of it. Now, so she will, if she's finding questions easy, she will not go back. She will not say, I will not attempt it. She'll attempt it. And then she will come to 95. Now she is wondering, Arey, I wish in my first part I could have left some questions. I could have left some questions which, you know, are इनकी जरूरत नहीं थी अटेम्प्ट करने की. इतना मार्जिन था हमारे पास छोड़ने का क्वेश्चंस. क्योंकि नेगेटिव मार्किंग है पेपर में, तो आपको मार्जिन लेके चलना है ना, कि कुछ क्वेश्चंस आप छोड़ोगे नेगेटिव मार्किंग अवॉइड करने के लिए. वो कैलकुलेशन आप तभी कर सकते हो जब आप पेपर को एक यूनिट की तरह ट्रीट करोगे. अगर आप पेपर को तोड़ दोगे तो आपको बिग पिक्चर नहीं मिलेगा. बिग पिक्चर नहीं मिलेगा तो आप ये नहीं कैलकुलेट कर पाओगे कि कितना छोड़ना है, गोल्डन रेंज कहाँ है. सबको समझ आ रही है ये बात? दिस लॉजिक इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Why not to break the paper? Anyone wants me to repeat this part? Huh? Okay, I'll just again repeat it in Hindi. Yeah, once. कि अगर suppose, okay, let's say who will be the hero? Say भावना. Okay, भावना पेपर कर रही है. अब भावना ने पहला पार्ट किया पेपर का, और भावना की क्या स्ट्रैटेजी थी? मैं पहले हाफ पेपर करूंगी और उसके बाद में जाके सर्कलिंग करूंगी, फिर हाफ पेपर करूंगी और फिर जाके सर्कलिंग करूंगी. तो भावना ने 9:30 शुरू किया पेपर और 10:20 तक उसका आधा पेपर हो गया. और 10:20 पे भावना ने कहा अरे अब तो 10:30 होने वाले हैं, आधा तो मैं पोस्ट कर देती हूँ. तो भावना ने जाके 50 क्वेश्चंस, फर्स्ट 50 क्वेश्चंस में से देखा कि कितने उसको पोस्ट करने हैं. 50 में से उसने 43 क्वेश्चंस पोस्ट कर दिए. ठीक है. अब जब भावना सेकेंड पार्ट खेल रही है पेपर का, नेक्स्ट पार्ट खेल रही है 51 से लेके 100 तक का, वो देख रही है कि यार ये तो काफी इजी है, पहले पार्ट से ये ज्यादा इजी है सेकंड वाला पार्ट. तो अब भावना पूरे फ्लो में है. उसने क्या 50 में से 49 अटेम्प्ट कर दिए उसमें, और उसको मन भी है करने का. ठीक है, बहुत बढ़िया. अब 11:30 बजे जब पेपर उसके हाथ से जा रहा है तो उसको क्या फील हुआ? अरे 43 + 49, मैं खेल रही हूं कितने पे? 92 पे, राइट. अब उसको क्या लग रहा है? अरे रे रे रे, मैं तो सोच के आई थी कि मैं 85 पे खेलूंगी, मैं तो 93 92 पे खेल रही हूँ. यार ऐसा ना हो कि कुछ नेगेटिव मार्किंग ज्यादा हो जाए. और मान लो पेपर हाथ में भी है, अगर 11:30 बजे 11:25 पे पेपर हाथ में है भावना के. अब भावना क्या सोच रही है कि यार अब मैं ये पोस्ट तो कर रही हूँ, लेकिन काश मैं अपने पहले हाफ में थोड़े क्वेश्चंस छोड़ देती, क्योंकि सेकंड हाफ वाले तो ज्यादा इजी है. लेकिन अब उसके पास वो ऑप्शन ही नहीं है, क्योंकि उसने वो पोस्ट कर दिए थे पहले ही. तो अगर आप ऐसे पेपर को तोड़ के अटेम्प्ट करते जाओगे तो आपके पास ये फ्रीडम नहीं होगी. Nikita, is it clear now? Okay. What else? Just last thing related to this section. Do not do like एक पेपर देखा और एक क्वेश्चन देखा और फिर पोस्ट किया, दूसरा क्वेश्चन फिर पोस्ट किया. ठीक है. क्यों? as I said कि don't break the paper, वो बात तो है ही. इसमें भी आपके पास गोल्डन रेंज में रहने का स्कोप नहीं होगा. और दूसरा, दिस इज अ हाईली unscientific thing to do. This thing like 100 times you will do this thing in your paper. कि पहला क्वेश्चन किया, देखा, उसको अटेम्प्ट किया, दूसरा क्वेश्चन किया, देखा, अटेम्प्ट किया. This movement of head will break your flow like 100 times in the paper. Okay, so this movement you have to club it at one place. कि 11 बजे 15 मिनट पे आप 100 बार ऐसे अपना सर हिला लो. लेकिन जब आप पेपर कर रहे हो तो फ्लो बनने की जरूरत है. तो फ्लो बनाने के लिए आप पेपर पे ही फोकस करो, बार बार आंसर शीट पे जाके पोस्ट मत करने बैठ आंसर अपना. ठीक है. ऑल राइट, ग्रेट, सुपर ऑसम. सबको हो गया, सबको आया समझ क्या बात हुई है पिछले 45-50 मिनट्स में? या कैन आई हैव अ थम्स अप? ओके, ग्रेट, super awesome. So we are done with the first part. सबको समझ आ रही है ये बात? This logic is very important. Why not to break the paper? Anyone wants me to repeat this part? हाँ, okay, I'll just again repeat it in Hindi, yeah, once. कि अगर suppose, okay, let's say who will be the hero? Say भावना, okay, भावना पेपर कर रही है. अब भावना ने पहला पार्ट किया पेपर का, और भावना की क्या स्ट्रैटेजी थी? मैं पहले हाफ पेपर करूंगी और उसके बाद मैं जाके सर्कलिंग करूंगी, फिर हाफ पेपर करूंगी और फिर जाके सर्कलिंग करूंगी. तो भावना ने 9:30 शुरू किया पेपर, और 10:20 तक उसका आधा पेपर हो गया. और 10:20 पे भावना ने कहा अरे अब तो 10:30 होने वाले हैं, आधा तो मैं पोस्ट कर देती हूँ. तो भावना ने जाके 50 क्वेश्चंस, फर्स्ट 50 क्वेश्चंस में से देखा कि कितने उसको पोस्ट करने हैं. 50 में से उसने 43 क्वेश्चंस पोस्ट कर दिए. ठीक है. अब जब भावना सेकेंड पार्ट खेल रही है पेपर का, नेक्स्ट पार्ट खेल रही है 51 से लेके 100 तक का, वो देख रही है कि यार ये तो काफी इजी है, पहले पार्ट से ये ज्यादा इजी है सेकंड वाला पार्ट. तो अब भावना पूरे फ्लो में है. उसने क्या 50 में से 49 अटेम्प्ट कर दिए उसमें, और उसको मन भी है करने का. ठीक है, बहुत बढ़िया. अब 11:30 बजे जब पेपर उसके हाथ से जा रहा है, तो उसको क्या फील हुआ? अरे 43 + 49, मैं खेल रही हूँ कितने पे? 92 पे, राइट. अब उसको क्या लग रहा है? अरे रे रे रे, मैं तो सोच के आई थी कि मैं 85 पे खेलूंगी, मैं तो 93 92 पे खेल रही हूँ. यार ऐसा ना हो कि कुछ नेगेटिव मार्किंग ज्यादा हो जाए. और मान लो पेपर हाथ में भी है, अगर 11:30 बजे 11:25 पे पेपर हाथ में है भावना के. अब भावना क्या सोच रही है कि यार अब मैं ये पोस्ट तो कर रही हूँ, लेकिन काश मैं अपने पहले हाफ में थोड़े क्वेश्चंस छोड़ देती, क्योंकि सेकंड हाफ वाले तो ज्यादा इजी है. लेकिन अब उसके पास वो ऑप्शन ही नहीं है, क्योंकि उसने वो पोस्ट कर दिए थे पहले ही. तो अगर आप ऐसे पेपर को तोड़ के अटेम्प्ट करते जाओगे, तो आपके पास ये फ्रीडम नहीं होगी. निकिता, इज इट क्लियर नाउ? ओके. What else? Just last thing related to this section. Do not do like एक पेपर देखा और एक क्वेश्चन देखा और फिर पोस्ट किया, दूसरा क्वेश्चन फिर पोस्ट किया. ठीक है. क्यों? as I said कि डोंट ब्रेक द पेपर, वो बात तो है ही. इसमें भी आपके पास गोल्डन रेंज में रहने का स्कोप नहीं होगा. और दूसरा, दिस इज अ हाईली unscientific thing to do this thing. Like 100 times you will do this thing in your paper. कि पहला क्वेश्चन किया, देखा, उसको अटेम्प्ट किया, दूसरा क्वेश्चन किया, देखा, अटेम्प्ट किया. This movement of head will break your flow like 100 times in the paper. Okay. So this movement you have to club it at one place. कि 11 बजे 15 मिनट में आप 100 बार ऐसे अपना सर हिला लो. लेकिन जब आप पेपर कर रहे हो तब फ्लो बनने की जरूरत है. तो फ्लो बनाने के लिए आप पेपर पे ही फोकस करो, बार बार आंसर शीट पे जाके पोस्ट मत करने बैठ आंसर अपना. ठीक है. ऑल राइट, ग्रेट, सुपर ऑसम. सबको हो गया, सबको आया समझ क्या बात हुई है पिछले 45-50 मिनट्स में? या कैन आई हैव अ थम्स अप? ओके, ग्रेट.